You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It's another beautiful day here in Florida. There's going to be a festive atmosphere here today at Steinbrenner Field. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. And the fans, oh, they're smiling. They're going to see a ball game and celebrate St. Patrick's Day as well here in Tampa, Florida. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's going to be the Yankees against the Houston Astros here at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. We want to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Well, maybe the news at the start of the ball game today not as dramatic as yesterday when our very own Jack Curry broke the news of Andy Pettitte's signing with the New York Yankees once again. But we're going to take a look at the pitchers who are scheduled to pitch today. And it's going to start with Hiroki Kuroda. He'll be followed by Adam Warren. Corey Wade will get in there. Then the left-hander Boone Logan. Cesar Cabral will get in there for the Yankees. And maybe we'll even see the youngster Dylan Betances. We're going to start with Hiroki Kuroda. He's the man that's going to be on the mound to start the game for the Yankees today, Flash.
Well, he had a nice career in L.A., and Yankee fans getting a look at him for the first time this spring. 5 innings, 4 strikeouts there. A little rolling breaking ball, needs to work on that a little bit down here in Tampa. But the Yankees have been very impressed with the split-finger fastball. It looks like that's going to be the pitch he's going to go to when he gets in trouble.
Let's check out the full pitching matchup for today's game. We mentioned Kuroda. You look at his record last year with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Bud Norris gets the start for the Houston Astros today. He was 6-11 last year. He led the Astros in strikeouts. So that's going to be the starting pitching for today. But it's going to be a festive atmosphere. You got Robinson Cano in the lineup. Fans weren't even warming up for the ball game today. The Yankees and the Astros when we come back right here on Yes. Today's game on Yes is brought to you in part by Cadillac. Visit CadillacTristate.com to find a dealer near you. By 5-Hour Energy, when you gotta get stuff done. And by the Really Big Sales Event. Real deals, big inventory, now at your Honda dealer. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It gets you fired up, doesn't it, Flash?
That music gets me in the mood.
Mood for a ball game and festivities here at Steinbrenner Field. Let's check out the Yankees starting lineup. I should say the Houston Astros starting lineup. Jason Bourgeois is going to lead it off. He'll be in center field. Matt Downs will be in second. J.D. Martinez will be in left field. Jack Cuss will be the designated hitter. Chris Johnson will be in third. Brad Snyder will be in right field. Chris Snyder will do the catching. Brett Wallace is at first base, and Marwin Gonzalez will be at shortstop.
Well, that young lineup for the Houston Astros is going to get a look at veteran Hiroki Kuroda for the New York Yankees. Be his third start of the spring. We'll look at his numbers last year with the Dodgers, 32 starts, and the ERA really jumps out at you, 3.07. We'll look at our Volkswagen pitcher scouting report on Kuroda. And he is a proven commodity. I mean, he is a strike thrower who can cut the ball, sink the ball. He's got a slider and a devastating split. The slider, the one pitch that he probably needs to improve just a little bit. Brought to you by Volkswagen.
Well, Kuroda, as Flash mentioned, going into his third start of the spring, and he's had mixed results so far. And sometimes he's not happy with the way some of his pitches have been working. Joe Girardi, of course, will be watching along with Larry Rothschild. Let's check out the Yankees on defense, brought to you by the Home Depot. We'll get to this quickly. In the outfield, a lot of speed. Gardner, Jones in right, Granderson in center. Rodriguez, Nunez, Cano, and Chavez in the infield. Francisco Cervelli doing the catching for Hiroki Kuroda. It is time for baseball here in Tampa. Here's the first pitch of the game. And it is over the outside corner for a call strike. Jason Bourgeois will lead it off. His game is speed. He had 31 stolen bases last year for the Houston Astros. Kuroda deals. Next pitch. Bouncing ball. Slowly hit towards Nunez. Gonna have to hurry. He gets it across in time. And Bourgeois is retired for out number one. Well, we've mentioned it's been just about the same thing every day here in Tampa as far as the weather's concerned. And now let's look at the game time weather conditions, brought to you by Toyota. 81 degrees. How about that? Perfect. Very light winds today. And in the Bronx, not bad at all. 58 degrees, partly cloudy.
You take that at home, 58 degrees for the St. Patrick's Day parade in the city, Kenny?
Yeah.
Sign up.
Next pitch is low and away. Matt Downs is the hitter. Downs playing at second base. He can play various positions. He was very good last year for the Astros. Coming off the bench, he had 15 runs batted in pinch hitting roles. Pitch is fouled back and out of play. The count levels at a ball and a strike. Astros are a ball club that struggled last year. I'm sure Kuroda pitched against them a couple of times when he was a member of the Dodgers. Kuroda's ERA last year 3.07. That was a career low. Swing and a miss, or maybe foul tipped into the glove of Cervelli, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
It looked like a little slider there from Kuroda, kind of up in the strike zone. You see Francisco Cervelli encouraging him to get that hand out front and get that slider down. A pitch he needs to work on down here in spring.
Tried to get him to chase a split in the dirt, and Downs wouldn't do it. Count is 2-2. This is the first time that Cervelli has actually caught Kuroda. The first 2 starts for Kuroda was Russell Martin. Russell Martin had been with the Dodgers, had some history with Kuroda, and this time Cervelli's in there. Russell Martin's out with a strained groin. Little slider off the end of the bat, rolls foul.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Cervelli to get comfortable with Kuroda. You know, you can catch him on the side in the bullpen, and you get a feel for the pitches, but you want to see what he can do in a ball game. Can he throw a split for a strike when he needs to? Can he bounce it for a strikeout when he needs to?
And we're about halfway through spring training. This is when the starting pitchers begin to get their acts together. 2-2 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss, and a ball in the dirt. And there's that split finger you were talking about, Flash. And first strikeout of the afternoon for Hiroki Kuroda.
Yeah, real good split from Kuroda, and a nice job by Cervelli blocking this baseball in the dirt. Every time you call a split with Kuroda, you got to expect it to be down. He does a nice job keeping it in front. Glove goes first, body follows, blocking the baseball. Nice play.
2 up and 2 down for the Astros, and that'll bring up the youngster J.D. Martinez. This is well, the Astros feel he's going to be a future star. He takes the first pitch from Kuroda in there for a call strike. When Hunter Pence was traded to the Phillies last year, the Astros called up Martinez from Double-A ball. See that 35 RBIs he had last year? 28 of them came in the month of August. He had a red-hot summer. Swing and a miss. But it's no balls and 2 strikes. That looked like a slider.
Well, Kuroda looks pretty good here. Nice start. Good slider. Throwing a lot of strikes, and you like Kenny, a lot of movement on the fastball. Able to throw it over the plate, but good movement.
Fouled off. Another note on Martinez now. He's a youngster, but he's having himself a pretty good spring. He's driven in 9 runs. And he's hitting .350 this spring. Wouldn't chase the split in the dirt. The count is 1-2. We were talking about the Astros last year. Well, let's say it in a nice way. They're in a rebuilding mode. They had 11 players make their major league debut last year. They lost 106 games, the most in franchise history. They traded away 3 of their better players for 10 players. Little chopper. And it's going to be Kuroda who's going to make the play all by himself. Takes it to the bag, and that's going to do it for the Astros here in the top of the first. Nothing across against Kuroda. The Yankees will be coming to the plate. Brett Gardner leading off. That is Brad Mills, the manager of the Houston Astros, in his 3rd year with the ball club. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. It's time to check out the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. At the very top is Brett Gardner. He'll be followed by Curtis Granderson in center field. Robinson Cano will be at second base. Cleaning up today is Alex Rodriguez. He'll be at third. He hit a home run here yesterday. Raul Ibanez is a designated hitter. He'll be followed by Andrew Jones in right. Eric Chavez is at first base. Eduardo Nunez back in the lineup. He'll be at shortstop, and Francisco Cervelli will be doing the catching.
The lineup for the Yankees going to get a look at Bud Norris. Pretty good young right-hander for the Houston Astros. We'll take a look at his numbers from last season. The 1-loss record, not great. ERA respectable, 3.77. We'll look at our Volkswagen pitcher scouting report on Bud Norris. It's a nice 2 or 3 in anybody's rotation. He's got a real good combination of the fastball, slider. Spring training, he'll mix in some changeups. But 176 strikeouts and 186 innings. The 176 strikeouts leading the Astros staff last year.
Here's Brett Gardner. He's going to lead it off for the Yankees. 49 stolen bases, tied with Coco Crisp of the Oakland A's for the American League lead. That's a year ago. And the first pitch a little bit high from Bud Norris. Chris Johnson, the third baseman, in on the grass. First baseman Brett Wallace even with the bag at first, guarding against the bunt. Whereas Gardner has a world of speed. And he takes one upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Gardner, one of those hitters, sees a lot of pitches during at bats. Something that your prototypical leadoff hitter should be able to do. Swings at this one, fouls it back on the screen behind home plate. The count is 2-1.
Well, Brett getting an opportunity to lead off this afternoon. Derek Jeter still taking care of that calf problem. Joe Girardi gives a leadoff spot to Gardner. A little surprised he took that aggressive swing there, 2-0.
Yeah,
We're used to seeing him being a little more passive.
And go down further in the count.
Yeah.
Well, this is spring training. Maybe he's trying to get his hitting together. Takes one upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. He's only hitting 143 this spring. Sometimes when you look up at a scoreboard around the league and you see that 140, 150, it's time to go to work. Even if it's just spring training. 3-1 pitch is on the way, and it's high for ball 4. So Brett Gardner's on with the base on balls. Well, let's look at the Astros defense, which is also brought to you by the Home Depot. You got Martinez in left, Bourgeois in center, Snyder in right, Johnson in third, Gonzalez at short, Downs at second, Wallace at first, and Snyder doing the catching. Here is Curtis Granderson, who had a chance to lead off here yesterday. Had himself a hit, hitting over 300 this spring. Got one home run. And the first pitch is poured in there for a called strike. Bottom of the first inning. There's a throw of the first to check on Gardner. Gardner has 2 steals this spring without being caught. He's not going, and the pitch is low for a ball. Third center fielder in Yankee history to have 40+ home runs. Mickey Mantle did it 4 times. And Joe DiMaggio, 1937.
Pretty good company.
Oh, my goodness. Hall of Fame company. Gardner's not going. The pitch is foul at the plate, and it's ball and 2 strikes on Granderson. Well, people kind of think that Granderson is this big-time home run hitter. Every time you ask him about hitting home, he doesn't think he's a home run hitter. He's hit 65 in his first 2 years with the Yankees. But last year was a breakout season in the home run category. He just started right from the beginning of the year and kept hitting it. I think the big deal for him was, Flash, and I wonder if you'll agree with me, the fact that he hit left-handed pitching so much better. He hit more home runs against left-handed pitchers than anybody in baseball. He hit 16 homers against lefties. And that's how he was able to increase that total to over 40. Pitch is fouled again at the plate. This time it was off the either shin or foot of Granderson, and he jumping around there in home plate. He's already wearing a guard.
He's got that protective guard protecting the right calf, right shin. But you know what, Kenny, hitting the lefties like he did, it gave him the opportunity to stay in the lineup every day. We'll take another look at the foul ball. Good thing he had that pad on. That's the last thing Joe Girardi wants to see. The numbers against the left-handers the last 3 years.
A marked improvement over the last couple of years. Gardner's on the move, and a pitch is driven towards the gap in right center field. Gardner to second. He's rounding third. He's going to be way tall. Granderson's going to stop at second with an RBI double, and the Yankees have taken a 1-0 lead. So the leadoff walk comes around to score as Granderson, looked like he was running okay to second, picks up an RBI double.
Well, a good start for the New York Yankees offensively. Brett Gardner on the move with the pitch, and we'll take a look at the ball up in the zone. Too much of the plate with 2 strikes, and Curtis Granderson takes advantage. Obviously, with Brett Gardner's speed, he is going to score easily, and Granderson in with a stand-up double.
And just like that, the Yankees are on the scoreboard for Joe Girardi. And that'll bring up Robinson Cano. And he takes a pitch for a called strike. No problem there, Flat.
No, it looked pretty good.
We said he's having a good spring. That average now climbing up even more so over 300. Let's see if Cano can advance him to third. That pitch is high for a ball.
Robinson kind of a slow start here in spring training. You see the numbers from last year, the 118 RBI, second in the American League. But had a nice at bat yesterday, Kenny, against a left-hander going the other way. See if he can build on that today.
Chris Snyder out to talk to Bud Norris. One thing about Cano, when he starts hitting, his hits usually come in bunches. Over the last 3 seasons, 176 multi-hit games. There's only one player in the league who has more, and that's Ichiro. Ichiro at just over 200 at 201. But you know, one hit doesn't satisfy this guy during the course of a ball game. bloops one towards right field. Moving over is the right fielder Brad Snyder, makes the catch. Granderson tags but holds, and he cannot advance on the short fly ball to right field. So there's one down. So with one out, Alex Rodriguez will come to the plate. Alex was 1 for 3 yesterday, but that one was a big one. It was a 2-run home run in the 5th inning that tied the game. He hit it over the left field fence here, just around that light tower. The Yankees eventually went on the win. They beat the Nationals here yesterday by a score of 4-3 in 10 innings. Alex having a good spring, hitting .333 with those 2 home runs. And he takes a breaking ball, a curveball up high for ball 1.
You see the 2 home runs, 6 RBIs for Alex this spring. His first home run, he went the other way. Yesterday, like you mentioned, Kenny pulled a sinking fastball down and in. A 2-run shot.
He just joined us. The Yankees have jumped out in front here in the 1st inning. They lead 1-0. RBI double by Curtis Granderson. Swing and a miss. And in case you missed it yesterday, this was Alex Rodriguez in the 5th.
A little sinking fastball down and in. You love the swing, how balanced it was. Nice extension. It's Joe Girardi's job this year to keep him on the field, try to keep him healthy. You know the numbers will be there.
Like a little slider, dropped in for a strike. 1-2. Bud Norris's given name is David, but he earned the nickname Bud at a very young age. I'll get to it. You're looking at me like
on the edge of my seat here.
Call strike 3. Alex Rodriguez called out on strikes. When Bud was 3 years old, he went out with a group of adults. As we look at call strike 3 on Alex Rodriguez, another breaking ball, looked like a curve. And as the adults went around the table and ordered what they wanted to drink, when it got to his turn, he thought he'd order what everybody else was having.
A couple of Buds?
He said, "Let me have a Bud."
There you go.
And that's how he got the nickname Bud. But that Bud was not for him that day. Not at 3 years old. Here's Raul Ibanez having a very slow spring, hitting .077. And he takes one outside for a ball. Ibanez normally a slow starter anyway, but trying to get his act together. That's what he did last year for the Philadelphia Phillies. 20 home runs and 84 runs batted in. Those 2 numbers are impressive. Granderson at second with 2 outs. Yankees leading 1-0. That ball is low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Ken, I saw Raul in the dugout before the game, and he's enjoying his time here in camp with the Yankees, but you know it's got to be bothering him a little bit. You know, you want to get off to a good spring when you come to a new club, and Joe Girardi looking on. You know what you can get, what you're going to get from Ibanez, but you know he's got to be wanting to get a few hits to impress some of your teammates.
It's slider in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Or make it 2-1. A little ahead of myself. His career with the Phillies. 2009, when the Phillies met the Yankees in the World Series, or lost to the Yankees in the World Series, you can see Ibanez had a big year. 34 home runs and over 90 runs batted in. He's ahead on the count here. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. I know it's early in the season, but it looks like Norris is being careful with a base open. Got a right-handed hitter and Andrew Jones on deck. .3-1 pitch, good swing, but fouled back to the screen.
When you're hitting .077 in spring training, that's what happens, Ken. You get a 3-1 fastball right there. You take a good swing, and Ibanez fouls it straight back. When you're locked in, that's a line drive to right center field. Good swing.
Just a little too late. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that is ball 4. Looked like a slider. Second walk of the inning handed out by Bud Norris. And Andrew Jones will get a chance to hit here in the first.
I mentioned in the scouting report a little fastball slider combination from Norris. Slider looks like it's pretty good. A lot of confidence trying to throw it for a strike 3 and 2. Just missed.
Andrew Jones, most of that damage against left-handed pitching last year. 77 games with the Yankees, hit 13 home runs. Served as both out in the outfield and as a designated hitter. This is a day where you usually would see Nick Swisher out in right field, but Nick, like several of the Yankees, kind of banged up a little bit at this point in spring training. Nick has a sore groin. Russell Martin dealing with the same thing. Derek Jeter with a calf muscle. David Robertson with a foot problem. This pitch is fouled back. Did I miss anybody? And the good news, though, Eduardo Nunez is back in the lineup today for Joe Girardi. Nunez has only appeared in 2 games. He was hit in the first game of spring training with a pitch over in Philadelphia, over in Clearwater against the Phillies. He's only had 3 at-bats, but he's back in the lineup this afternoon. Pitches line over second and into right center field for a base hit. This is going to score Granderson a 2-out single for Andrew Jones, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
We talked yesterday about Robinson Cano against a left-hander going the other way, and what a good sign that is for him. And the same thing here with Andrew Jones, a slider right on right. He does a nice job staying right on it, drilling it the other way. Point in spring training where you're taking positive out of at bats. Andrew Jones got to be pretty happy with that swing.
Well, the pitching coach is Doug Brocail. Remember Brocail?
I do.
Now, were you a teammate of his in Detroit?
I was not. Faced him a little bit when he was with the Astros and I was with the Padres.
He is the pitching coach for Brad Mills. Hard throwing reliever back in the day. Eric Chavez is going to get a chance. 7th Yankee to bat here in the first inning against Bud Norris. And the first pitch, he struggled with his control. His slider's been pretty good. He's been getting that over. The fastball is one he's having trouble with.
And it seems like he's rushing his delivery a little bit. A lot of the fastballs in this first inning have been up.
One ball and 1 strike to Chavez. We mentioned the Astros with a very, very young team. They had 11 players make their major league debut. They used 20 rookies last year. 20 rookies. They only won 56 games. It's a rebuilding process in Houston. There's a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Looking at some of the numbers last year, you see where they finished up 40 games out. I mean, the pitching staff had a tough year, Kenny. A lot of 16th in the league in ERA, 16th in runs given up. I mean, usually those aren't good signs for any ball club.
2-2 on the swing and a miss. And next year, the Astros will go where they've never been before. They're going to be in the American League. They're going to go to the American League West. And the feeling is that they'll create a rivalry with the Texas Rangers. Pitches hit hard towards the middle. It's going to be the shortstop, Gonzalez, who makes the play just in time to get the force on Andrew Jones. But the Yankees scored 2 here in the bottom of the first and take a 2-0 lead.
We make your Andrew Very respectful, great teammate, but he's a tough competitor. You know, he doesn't cave in either. You know, and I think you know, that's the reason why he's been so good for so long. I mean, he's 37 years old and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. So I'm really excited to have him here.
Russell Martin and Hiroki Kuroda, teammates with the Los Angeles Dodgers out there on the West Coast, and that's what Russell Martin thinks of of Kuroda, who was signed as a free agent by the Yankees over the winter. He's going to be facing Jack Cust here to lead off the second inning. And Cust takes a pitch high for a ball. Now, normally a player like Cust might not fit with the Houston Astros. Cust is more or less a designated hitter, but next year they're going to need one. So this year he might be coming off the bench. Ball is hit hard towards first, knocked down by Eric Chavez. Steps on the bag, and there's one down. So maybe he'll be used as a pinch hitter this year, Flash, and just roll into that DH role next year when the Astros move to the American League.
Yeah, we'll see how he adjusts. You know, the first name I think of obviously is Jason Giambi, and they obviously are not having had the same type of careers, but Jason's done such a great job in Colorado adjusting to that pinch hitting appearance. Not an easy job to have and be successful.
Here is third baseman Chris Johnson. 107 games a year ago for the Astros. And the first pitch from Kuroda's fastball for a called strike one. Former Major League pitcher, left-hander Jim Gisseys is here doing the game back to Houston on radio. And we were talking to him about how the fans in Houston feel about their team moving to the American League. And he says, well, so far the output's been somewhat negative. But he feels that over a period of time when they see the rivalry develop with the Texas Rangers, that within the state, that the fans will start to come around. But right now they're not too happy. Pitch is hit well towards left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. This ball, one hop over the wall for a ground rule double for Chris Johnson. That was a rocket to the gap in left center field. So that's the first hit of the afternoon for the Astros.
Kuroda has looked sharp this afternoon. The first real fastball that he misses with location right down the middle of the plate. Johnson takes advantage. This approach getting that front foot down nice and quiet. Bounces hard off of the warning track. A little ground rule double.
So Johnson at second for Brad Snyder, the right fielder. Off the glove of Cervelli and back to the screen, and Johnson's going to move over to third base on the wild pitch. There's one that Cervelli could not handle.
You see the look of disappointment on Cervelli's face too, because you work all spring training on blocking balls in the dirt so you can get the job done in the game. It looked like it just ricochets off of his left forearm, maybe his left leg.
So the Astros have a runner at third and one out. And a 1-0 count on Brad Snyder. Count levels at a ball and a strike. So the Astros not only will have to deal with the Texas Rangers next year, they have to deal with the Angels, the A's, the Mariners. And with them moving, there's going to be an interleague game every day in baseball. Pitch is hit in the air to short center field. Coming on is Granderson. Still coming on. Makes the catch. Johnson tags, but he's not going anywhere. The throw is cut off. And Granderson, who had a career-high 11 assists last year, shows off his strong arm, holds the runner at third. There's 2 outs.
Well, nice job by Kuroda. First of all, getting in and jamming the hitter to get a pop-up and a strong throw from Curtis Granderson. Runner at third, Johnson not going anywhere, respecting the throwing arm of Curtis Granderson.
Third base coach is Bobby Meacham. He probably said, you're not going anywhere. Just make him throw the ball. Catcher Chris Snyder's at the plate. And Kuroda misses with a slider outside, ball 1. "34 games in the big leagues last year. A ball and a strike.
Kenny, this situation right here, I think, is what the Yankees it's going to be a luxury for them because they know what Kuroda can do. Pitching out of jam, certain situations. I mean, a veteran running a fastball in on Brad Snyder to get a pop-up, keep that runner at third base.
Strike two. You can hear the pop of the glove of Cervelli. A ball and 2 strikes. Now, Flash, would you be hesitant to call a splitter with a runner at third here?
No, it's his best strikeout pitch. Obviously, you have to go to it and trust that you're going to be able to block the ball in the dirt. And also, Cervelli wants to show Kuroda, I could block this ball. Throw it down in the dirt.
1-2 pitch. And that looked like a slider or a curve, and that missed outside. 2-2.
As a catcher, the last thing you want is your pitcher not trusting that you're going to block a ball in the dirt with a runner on third base. And this is a nice opportunity for both of these guys kind of to build that trust. And when you need a big strikeout with a runner on third base, you can bounce that split finger.
There it is, and he does block it. The count is now full at 3-2.
Again, every time you call this split, you have to expect it to be down in the dirt. Nice job by Cervelli.
So now the count has gone full on Chris Snyder. Kuroda's got just about everything out there. Let's see what he features on this 3-2 pitch. Little slider off the end of the bat. Slow hopper right back to the mat, and the Astros going to strand a runner at third base. We played an inning and a half here at Steinbrenner Field. Happy St. Patrick's Day, 2-0 Yankees. Wow, look at this. Look what's coming into the booth, John. We'd like to thank Papa John's for the delicious pizza they brought to the booth this afternoon. Charlie, thanks so much. Wow, I was getting a little hungry. All right, enjoy the game. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. All right, a pizza on St. Patrick's Day. How about that?
I'm excited about the Papa John's, but I think I'm more excited about Charlie delivering.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Did a great job.
He must have thought O'Neill was here today, you know? O'Neill's the one that gets
O'Neill will be able to take care of those 3 pies in half an inning.
All by himself. Thanks again, Charlie.
Way to go, Charlie.
Have a great day. All right, we got enough for everybody in the booth here. 2-0 Yankees are going to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Well, that smells good, doesn't it? Eduardo Nunez coming to the plate. We said he hasn't played in quite a few ball games. Hit by a pitch in the first game of spring training. A bruised hand kept him on the shelf. Swings and pops one up to the right side. Let's see who's going to handle this one. Looks like the first baseman, Brett Wallace, as he drifts into foul territory. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, it's good to see Nunez back in the lineup, and you know, our Jack Curry yesterday mentioned it, and I totally agree with him. Nunez could play a huge part on this Yankee ball club this year, trying to give some of the veterans some days off in the infield. Let's see his bat total increase this year if he stays healthy.
He played enough to steal 20 bases last year. Great speed. Played shortstop when Derek Jeter was injured, and third base when Alex Rodriguez was on the DL. Number 9 hitters, Francisco Cervelli. Yankees leading 2-0. Scoring 2 runs in the first inning on 2 hits against Bud Norris, and Norris deals here inside to Cervelli. Tried to check a swing.
Cervelli caught in yesterday's ball game, gets another start today. David Wells, Reggie Jackson having a nice conversation looking on.
Yankees, of course, invite a lot of former Yankees down to spring training as instructors. That included Andy Pettitte, who's now a Yankee again.
Well, you wonder if David Wells is thinking about, you know what, if Andy Pettitte could do it, I'll make a little comeback.
He's probably getting advice from Reggie right now. You know what I found out about Reggie today? You know the 3 home runs he hit in the World Series? That wasn't the first time he hit 3 home runs in a game. He actually did it in the minor leagues in Modesto in the California League. And the next year he was in the big leagues.
Wow.
With the Oakland A's. And on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Cervelli takes a pitch outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Joe Girardi had a late lineup today, didn't he? He was waiting on Nunez to see if he could play. This pitch is popped up, and it's going to be out of play. Because he knew Derek Jeter wasn't going to play today. Doug Bernier played yesterday. So he's looking for a shortstop. How far down the list till he gets to you?
Way down the list. Well, the Yankees, you know, players had an interesting day today. The Players Union came and gave their annual address that they do every spring. Took a couple hours, and then they had a little late batting practice and teed up here at 1 o'clock.
3-2 pitch, and Cervelli lines it to left field for J.D. Martinez, who puts it away for out number 2. And I know the way labor relations have been going these last several years between the Players Association and the owners have been very, very good. And I think back to the days when we had our Players Association meetings in spring training. Those days it wasn't so good. Free agency, arbitration, pension, all those things had to be ironed out for guys like you, Flash.
We appreciate what you did for us.
I was happy to do it. The pitch is low to Brett Gardner. Gardner got it started for the Yankees in the first inning with a walk and eventually scored. Now, I knew what we did in those days was going to help ball players in the future. I didn't know it was going to help them this much. When you look at the salaries of this day and age. But the
Union has some new leadership now. Michael Wiener's taken over. And, you know, I actually saw one of our good friends, Don Fear, at the hotel. Now he's the head of the, I think, Hockey Players Union, NHL.
That pitch is high. 3 balls and no strikes. So Gardner a ball away from having his second consecutive walk in this game. That is ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Brett Gardner, and he's aboard for the second time. Tony Clark was here today. Tony, 6 foot, 7 inch of power hitting, switch hitting first baseman. Played for the Yankees for a while. He made the trip to Japan, and I remember him hitting a home run off the scoreboard at the ballpark in Tokyo that took out a row of lights.
Remember that.
Here's Granderson. Doubled and scored, also drove in a run in the first inning. Gardner's not going. The pitch is high for a ball.
You know, Tony Clark, one of my favorite teammates ever, one of the hardest working guys at his craft, but now he's taken that passion to the union.
Yeah. Working
for the union, and he's all excited about the direction that they're heading. Good to see Tony around the ballpark today.
Gardner's on the move. The pitch is high. The throw by Snyder to second is not in time, but stolen base for Brett Gardner. Gardner showing the wheels. His third stolen base of the spring without being caught.
Well, if you're Chris Snyder behind the plate, he got a perfect pitch to throw on a fastball up, but Brett Gardner just outruns the baseball. I mean, from a catching standpoint, this is the easiest ball to throw, and it's just a little bit high, and the speed of Brett Gardner takes over.
Guys like Gardner, everything has to be almost exactly right for you to be able to get him. The throw, getting the ball in good time, and then throwing the ball on the right side of the bag and down where the infielder can just swipe the tag.
Yeah,
and if you don't do that, you're not going to get him.
Yeah, and there are some times when, as a catcher, you don't really get a good pitch to throw on, and you say, you know, I couldn't really do a whole lot. But that opportunity there was as good as it was going to get for Chris Snyder, and he just didn't deliver the baseball in the bag.
Granderson with a chance to drive in another run. Takes a pitch outside for ball 3. Gardner, since 2008, has an 83% success rate stealing bags. That's pretty good. Ball 4, another walk. 4th walk handed out by Bud Norris. See, the last 6 times in Yankee history, they've had a 3-home run game. Alex Rodriguez, they did it against Kansas City. Mark Teixeira at Fenway Park. Alex Rodriguez again. Tony Clark, August 28, 2004, at the Rogers Center against the Blue Jays. Tito Martinez against the Mariners. That was very early in the season. Darryl Strawberry against the White Sox. So A-Rod's on that list twice. Here's Cano with 2 on and 2 out. Yankees threatening again, and he swings and fouls it off for a strike.
You know, Kenny, you talk about Tony Clark, who's working for the union, and then the next thing you know, we have a graphic about. I mean, Mike Medvin in our truck is on fire the last 2 days.
You know, we are very fortunate to work with people who are on the top of their games, up and down through the Yes Network, and certainly Mike Medvin's up there as well. Runners are on the move, and the ball is drilled, and it's fouled, and it hit the umpire. And it's Mike Estabrook at first, and I don't know if the ball actually hit him.
Well, I guarantee you one thing, his heart rate has risen a little bit. This was a rocket.
The runners were running on the pitch.
Got him.
It did hit him. Now the umpires are taught to stand on the foul lines in foul territory. So if they are hit, it would be a foul ball. But he actually moved to his right to get out of the way. You see my point there? Was he in fair territory when he got hit? Cano with a bouncing ball towards first, and this is foul.
I'm impressed with Mike Estabrook right now because he's playing it off like that didn't hurt, but that had to leave a mark. This is a rocket off the bat of Robinson Cano.
Cano spoils another one, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Cano hits this one well to right field. This is way back. This one is gone over the bleachers and out of the ballpark. A 3-run home run, the first homer of the spring for Robinson Cano, and the Yankees lead 5-0. That one was tagged. There's somebody who knows something about long home runs.
We mentioned Robinson, a good at bat yesterday going the other way. Here's an 0-2 slider down and in, and the hands just react for Robinson Cano. Oh, perfect balance, great extension.
Pitch to Alex Rodriguez up and in for a ball. Man, this is hit.
Good approach, 2-strike hitting. Robinson Cano, a nice short, sweet swing.
Watch the roof out there. To the left of the roof and on out of the ballpark. 1-1 on A-Rod as he swings and misses.
You know, Kenny, you see some long home runs in spring training because of the wind. That one was not aided by the wind at all. That was legitimate, all Robinson Cano.
Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to A-Rod. Alex called out on strikes his first time. From a pitching standpoint, that's not supposed to happen 0-2.
No. It's been a tough afternoon for Bud Norris. Pitch count already close to 60 at 58.
First home run of the spring for Robinson Cano. You like to get that first one out of the way just to prove to yourself you can still do it. A-Rod swings, hits one high in the left field. Martinez drifts back and makes the catch for the final out here in the second inning. But the Yankees score 3 more runs. A couple of walks followed by a long home run off the bat of Robinson Cano. At the end of 2 here at Steinbrenner Field, the Yankees lead 5-0. Holders starting Thursday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. and continuing through Sunday, March 25th at 10 p.m. To use your MasterCard to purchase tickets beginning March 22nd, visit Yankees.com/prices or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Hiroki Kuroda goes into the third inning now with a 5-0 lead, facing first baseman Brett Wallace. And the next pitch evens the count at a ball and a strike. That's Wallace last year in an Astro uniform.
Former #1 pick for the St. Louis Cardinals in '08. Actually doing some research on him, Kenny. He's a big Eric Chavez fan. Growing up, watching Eric play out in Oakland. And I mentioned that to Eric. I said, boy, I hope this kid plays today so I can bring this up. But the little bit of research that I do, I want to make sure I get into a broadcast. But Eric said that's starting to happen more and more to him now. The older he's getting, a lot of young kids coming up on the field telling him how much they enjoyed his career in Oakland.
2-1 pitch is foul off flash. Don't sell yourself short. You knew all this stuff. We didn't have to put the graphic up.
First round pick.
Well, he's up there with a 2-2 count. Bouncing ball towards Cano at second. Nice Sunday hop on Saturday, and he throws out Wallace for out number 1. So he had a chance to say hello briefly. The number 9 hitter is a shortstop, Marwin Gonzalez. Last year at Double-A Tennessee, hit .301. And he lays one down, but it's foul.
Kenny, this is the first time I've seen Kuroda. And, you know, you watch him pitch and you start thinking this is a guy I'd enjoy catching. I mean, he's throwing all of his pitches for strikes. Seems like he works pretty quickly, gets ahead in the count. We've already talked about that good split finger.
Here's a good fastball, 0-2. He's got that little hesitation from the windup, too. A couple of breaks in his delivery.
A little hesitation right there. Gathers on his back leg, and a little life on the fastball up in the zone. That's not where he wants to live with the type of pitcher that he is. He's got to be down with movement.
Ball is fouled off down the right field line.
The little hesitation just reminds him, you know what, sit on your back leg just a little bit. You don't want to rush your delivery.
Way ahead on the count is Kuroda. No balls and 2 strikes on Gonzalez. 1 out here for the Astros in the top of the 3rd. 5-0 Yankees. They scored 2 in the 1st and 3 more in the 2nd. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says home plate umpire Mark Carlson. And Gonzalez has gone. 2nd strikeout for Kuroda.
You know, with Freddie Garcia last year, we talked a lot about the split finger. I think it's going to be the same theme with Kuroda. He gets 2 strikes. He needs a strikeout. This is the pitch he is going to use. Good action down and away.
Back to the top of the order for the Astros, and Jason Bourgeois, the center fielder. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Various shades of green throughout the ballpark in the stands. Of course, highlighted by the green of the infield and outfield. Bouncing ball foul. Last year, the Astros traded Michael Bourne during the course of the season to the Atlanta Braves. Bourne was a good leadoff hitter. In fact, led the major leagues in stolen bases. Somebody's going to have to fill that role with Bourne now doing his base running for the Braves. That pitch is low and away for a ball, 2-1. Could it be Bourgeois? Could it be Jordan Schaefer, who played yesterday in the leadoff spot for the Astros? Both of them have a world of speed. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Bouncing ball to Cano. This should do it. The Astros go in order here in the 3rd inning. Gets Hiroki Kuroda, who's had a strong 3 innings. Happy Today's game on Yes is brought to you in part by Chevy, with a full line of award-winning models. Find out more at ChevyOffers.com. Just want to get up and dance around, doesn't it? Here, there's various shades of green. Fans coming, some of them celebrating early here.
Oh, the corned beef and cabbage will be flowing in my house back in New York tonight.
Let's say you're flying home after the game. Special order?
My Italian wife cooks corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day for everybody.
Yeah, I'm down here by myself, Flash. I don't know what I'm going to do as of yet after the game. Maybe a glass of water. Here's Raul Ibanez. And he swings, has a good swing at that one and fouls it back. Ball with a strike. It'll be Ibanez, Jones, and Chavez for the Yankees here in the third.
Oh, Kenny, you're right about another good swing from Ibanez. I mean, he's hitting, what, 077 coming into this game during the spring. Walked his first at bat, but a couple of good swings this afternoon. Watch from the side here. He's not moving forward at all.
Ball strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Bud Norris. One-two pitch is hit high in the air to right field. This might end up in the seats. It does, out of play. High in the air to left field. Coming on is Martinez. Going back is Gonzalez. Let's see. It's going to be to left field to Martinez, who makes the catch, 1 down. So Ibanez, who drew a walk in the first, now flies out to left field. He's 0 for 1. And to the plate, Andrew Jones, who had an RBI single in the first inning. Jones' line went over the head of the second baseman, Matt Downs. Drive home the Yankees' second run of the inning.
Jones having a tough spring training as well. You wouldn't be able to tell it from his last at bat, really staying on that slider and drilling it the other way.
Yeah, this is about the time of spring the hitters start picking up the pace. You know, early they kind of struggle. Hit hard. Yep, he's picking up the pace. Second line drive single of the afternoon. Jones is now 2 for 2.
Well, such a luxury for a hitter when you can hit a slider the first at bat of your afternoon, because you plant a seed in your pitcher's head that you can't throw me that pitch again. So Jones gets a fastball first pitch. He knows exactly what to do with this. This line drive into left field.
His hips clear out. Bat come quickly through the zone, and he's on with a hit. Eric Chavez to the plate. 1 on, 1 out for the Yankees here in the third inning. They lead 5-0. Ball is popped up. Looked like an off-speed pitch into right field. Brad Snyder drifts back, now comes on and makes the catch for out number 2. So Chavez jumps on the first pitch just as Jones did. But now there's 2 outs. It'd be interesting to see how long it takes Eduardo Nunez to get his hitting back together after being out for such a lengthy period of time. You know, when you have a hand injury, you can't swing the bat. So he's been on the shelf for almost 2 weeks. Just 1 for 4 this spring. And a slider is outside for a ball.
You watch Andrew Jones taking his lead at first base. It looked like Norris was not paying any attention to him. Might be able to steal a bag here with 2 outs, get into scoring position. You know, Kenny, Nunez looks good to me physically. It looks like he got a little stronger, filled out a little bit.
Flash, when you get my age, they all look good. They all look young and strong. Here's the pitch to Nunez, and a slider's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. 2011, when Jeter was on the disabled list for 17 games, Eduardo Nunez did fill in well. 339 with a couple of home runs and 7 runs batted in. Off the end of the bat, going to be a tough play for third baseman Johnson. He cannot make the play, and it's going to be an infield single for Eduardo Nunez. And the Yankees now have 2 men on with 2 outs. You know, it's interesting. We showed that graphic of how well he hit when he played shortstop.
You see a slider here that he rolls over, and I don't know if Johnson, if he comes up with this clean, if he's even going to have a play. Nunez runs too well. We'll get a look at him running down the line out of the box. That off-balance swing out in front gets you out of the box a little bit quicker. Infield base hit.
And the reason why I mentioned that he hit so well while playing shortstop, remember that was his primary position in the minor leagues. Now, when he filled in for Alex Rodriguez at third base, I don't think he hit as well playing third because, you know, sometimes young players take their fielding position up to the plate and what they're doing. So he was concentrating so much while playing third that he didn't hit quite as well as he did when he filled in for Jeter at shortstop. But overall, had a good season for the Yankees a year ago. Cervelli's up with a count 1 strike now, 2 on, 2 outs. Yankees threatening again. Timeout is called. Cervelli lined out to left field his first time. It says fly out, but he hit the ball well. One ball and 1 strike on the Yankees catcher, Francisco Cervelli.
This is where Francisco was so good last year. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Doesn't give you a lot of power from a backup catcher, but timely base hits. His RBI total was impressive for the amount of at-bats he had.
Almost walked into that one, and it's called a strike. Cervelli just 5 home runs and 489 major league at-bats.
You see Cervelli reacting like it was a lot closer than it actually was.
I think he surrendered. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Yankees failed to score. They leave 2 men on here in the 3rd inning. We've completed 3 innings here at Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees have the lead. On Friday afternoon, April 6th, the quest for 28 begins in St. Pete when the Yankees kick off the 2012 season against the division rival Rays. Join the Yes Network for team complete coverage of all opening day pageantry from Tropicana Field. The 2012 regular season starts Friday, April 6th at 2, right here on Yes. There's some people enjoying today's ball game. Beautiful day for baseball, St. Patrick's Day, and the Yankees have the lead at 5-0. Hiroki Kuroda goes into the fourth inning. He'll face Downs, Martinez, and Cust. And Downs takes a pitch from Kuroda, and it's in there for a called strike. Downs struck out swinging on a splitter in the dirt. And now he finds himself deep in a hole here. No balls and 2 strikes leading off the top of the fourth inning.
Well, the fastball from Kuroda, it's not overpowering, but it has enough movement. He can sink it. He can cut it. And like you said, Kenny, again, ahead in the count, 0-2. It's been a common theme this afternoon.
Sliders outside. I like the way Kuroda works too. 0-2. Pitch moving away, maybe get him to chase it. Wouldn't do it. He's a pitcher, not a thrower. Another slider. This one's popped up into foul territory. The Yankee first baseman Eric Chavez. He puts it away, and there's 1 out. So far, Kuroda's just allowed 1 base runner. That was the ground rule double to Chris Johnson in the second inning. He's been very impressive here at Steinbrenner Field this afternoon.
Kenny, our producer Frank DeGrace actually made a good point. He reminds you a little bit mechanically of Daisuke Matsuzaka from Boston. But the one thing that is glaringly different is that Kuroda throws strikes. Gets ahead.
Like that?
Like that.
Yeah, well, the curveball in there for a strike to J.D. Martinez.
Different mental makeup where he's attacking hitters, throwing strikes. Daisuke's pitch count would always get elevated in 5th inning.
Daisuke trying to work his way back from Tommy John surgery. Here's the youngster J.D. Martinez, who grounded out to Kuroda unassisted to end the first inning. Not quite together on that side with the count 0-2. Let's see if he throws another teasing type pitch to try and get Martinez to chase it. Target set, low and away. Yep, there's your teaser. A little fastball away. 1 pitch sets up the next one.
You know, I love that pitch selection, though. We've talked here, for 3 innings, 3 1/3, about the split finger being the strikeout pitch, and he tried to sneak that fastball in the outside corner, giving the scouts something to think about.
This one's fouled off down the right field line. No, it's a fair ball. And it hops into the Yankee bullpen. It's going to be a double for J.D. Martinez. Kind of fought that one off, and it didn't twist foul. So that is just the second hit given up by Kuroda. 1 out double here in the 4th.
Martinez having a good spring, a 20th round draft pick who turned into the 2010 minor league player of the year for the Astros. Get an opportunity this year to play every day.
Skipped AAA ball, called up from AA last year. Cleanup hitter is Jack Cust, the veteran. The Yankees employ the shift. And Cust hits one in the air to center field. Hits it pretty well, but Granderson is there. Makes the catch. Martinez fakes, but he's not going anywhere. And they're 2 outs. Kuroda very fundamentally sound. I noticed that when the ball was hit, immediately he went to back up third base in case there was a throw. Here's Chris Johnson. Johnson had a booming double to the gap in left center field. In fact, it hit off the warning track, bounced over the wall for a ground rule double. Pitches outside. Ball 1. Watch Kuroda's reaction. You know, every once in a while you see a pitcher and, you know, they just see the ball's hit, it's going to be caught. And they just don't move. They just stay there. And every once in a while, a throw will get away. And there's nobody there to back it up. Good slider for a strike. But those are the sort of things you work on in spring training. And they should be embedded in your mind on a daily basis when you're out there on the mound, whoever's pitching. Fouled off. We just saw a shot of Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach, in the dugout. He's got to be a happy man today, Flash. He's a graduate of Florida State University. They beat St. Bonaventure yesterday to advance in the NCAA tournament. Larry got a degree in business. Of course, the business turned out to be pitching. And Joe probably passing along congratulations because Northwestern's not in the tournament this year. But a lot of people thought they should have been.
A lot of upsets yesterday. Huh?
Oh my goodness! And you know what? These mid-majors, a lot of good basketball players around the country. 1-2 pitch, and it's high, 2-2.
Let's see if that fastball sets up a split finger coming on the next pitch. A high fastball in the zone, changing the eye level of a hitter. Sometimes you'll see a veteran pitcher come back with an off-speed pitch down in the dirt, try to get a swing and a miss.
Flash, you're calling a game. Full count now. Couldn't get Johnson to chase. For only the second time this afternoon, Kuroda working from the stretch.
And Cervelli and Kuroda have pretty much been on the same page all afternoon.
Along with Flaherty. Payoff pitch is on the way, and it's hit in the air to left center field once again, and it looks like Chris Johnson's going to have his second consecutive double. The Astros are on the scoreboard. Chris Johnson stops at second, and he's got himself a run batted in.
Well, Kuroda has been so good this afternoon. The few mistakes that he has made, he's made 2 of them to Chris Johnson, and he's taken advantage of both. First at bat was a fastball right down the middle, and that looked like a slider that stayed up. Get another look at it. Slider pretty much middle of the plate. Chris Johnson pretty much the same swing he had on the fastball. And Kuroda disappointed.
Right fielder Brad Snyder. Astros 1 run on 3 hits. All 3 hits have been doubles. High and inside for ball 1. Kuroda now up to 56 pitches.
He threw 42 pitches his last outing, so obviously trying to stretch him out maybe to 60.
So this could be his last inning. Maybe the last man he's going to face on the day if he can get Snyder out. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
And you start wondering maybe a fatigue an issue now, you know, trying to get that pitch count where it needs to be, starting to miss with a few pitches. It's all part of the spring training process for a starting pitcher. Have to fight through a little bit of fatigue here.
It's all about building up arm strength. Eventually they want to get pitcher ready to go 100, 110 pitches in a game. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Brad Snyder, a non-roster invitee to camp. I mentioned yesterday, those guys fight an uphill battle. You really have to be impressive in the opportunities that you get. Broken bat popped up. This is going to be a tough play. Coming on is Gardner. He's got great speed, and he makes the sliding catch. Brett Gardner, with as good a range as any left fielder in the major leagues, makes a sliding catch for the 3rd out here in the top of the 4th inning. End of 3 1/2. 5-1 Yankees. Yeah, let's dance. is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Take the wheel of a new Hyundai at your local Hyundai dealer. By Wendy's. Try Wendy's premium fish fillet sandwich made with only 100% North Pacific cod. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Green is the color of the day here at Steinbrenner Field. And right now, the Yankee fans in those Yankee green caps today are celebrating a 5-1 Yankee lead as we go to the Yankees half of the fourth inning. New pitcher for the Houston Astros. It's going to be Xavier Cedeno, who last year did his pitching at Oklahoma City in AAA. 3 starts, worked mostly out of the bullpen. And you can see a side-wielding left-hander.
A little cup of coffee last year in September for the Astros, originally signed by the Colorado Rockies. And Kenny, the scout who signed him, Jorge Posada.
Oh, Jorge
Senior.
Senior, yeah.
Yep. Wonder with the news of Andy Pettitte coming back, what Jorge Posada's thinking. 4-4.
Could be reunited, huh?
Yeah.
Here is Brett Gardner, who's walked twice and scored twice, also has a stolen base. Gardner in the leadoff spot for the Yankees this afternoon. Now going to face a left-hander. Gardner, Granderson, and Cano, 3 left-handed hitters scheduled to hit for the Yankees against Cedeno. And the first pitch from the lefties in there for a call strike.
Brett Gardner with that nice sliding catch. And the 4th inning, top of the 4th, leads off here in the bottom. Uniform is dirty, Kenny. It looked like he's played a game today.
Ball on his track. That's the way that's his game. Using those wheels. And you know what? He's even getting it into the St. Patrick's Day theme. You see this green on his pants? Curve is high. 2 balls and a strike.
There it is.
Slashes one over the Astros dugout. They back into the crowd. There's that happy gentleman. Got the ball. As many ball games as you went to as a kid, did you ever get a foul ball souvenir?
Never.
No, me neither.
No, the problem was we could only afford the upper deck seats. Not too many foul balls made it up there.
That was closer than me. I was in the bleachers. This pitch just swung on and missed. And Gardner has struck out. So he's walked twice and had a strikeout. There's 1 out for the Yankees here in the 4th.
We'll take a look here for Cedeno. You mentioned that 3/4 arm angle, Kenny. A pretty good slider. Gardner not able to stay on it.
Well, the top 3 hitters in the Yankees order have scored all the runs. Gardner scored 2. Granderson has scored a couple. And Cano has scored 1. Ball is hit in the air to center field. On the move is a speedy center fielder, Bourgeois. He is there and makes the running catch. Out on the warning track and deep left center field. Granderson gave it a ride, and that's out number 2.
Major league hitters, of course, they want to get hits every at bat, but Granderson's got to feel pretty good about this. Left on left and driving this ball deep center field.
Tell you what, the wind didn't help it. Wind kind of blowing straight in from center today. We talked about Michael Bourne moving on to Atlanta. There's a look at the flags, straightaway center field, or almost straightaway center field. And now the Astros looking for somebody to fill Bourne's role in center. Here's Cano. Cano is flying out to right and then hit a booming home run to right field. A 3-run homer in the 2nd inning that stretched the lead to 5-0 at the time for the Yankees. They now lead at 5-1. You mentioned Cano's average was under 200. You chop up that home run, you might get 10, 15 singles out of it. Tried to check his swing, did he? No, he didn't.
Well, remember back in the second inning, and this was an 0-2 delivery, a slider down and in. It was absolutely hammered.
Cano's first home run of the spring. Curveball is in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, watching Cedeno here, Kenny, a nice opportunity for him in the 4th inning. 3 left-handed hitters. Gardner, Granderson, and now Robinson Cano. An opportunity to open up your manager's eyes if you can get 3 quality lefties out.
Make it a ball and 2 strikes on Cano. He struck out Gardner. Granderson flew out to deep center, and Cano takes a slider off the plate. 2-2.
Pretty good pitch right there, too. Just missed down and away. Robinson does a nice job of not offering at it. Brad Mills, manager of the Astros, watching. Find a lefty out of the bullpen. Good sweeping breaking ball.
Cano rips one, and this is going to curve foul. That curveball hung up in his eyes a little bit. Yeah, look who's warming up. That is Mariano Rivera warming up. That is Mike Harkin, bullpen coach. Talking with Mariano. Mo could be next. Outside. Full count now on Robinson Cano.
No matter how it turns out, a good at bat by Robinson Cano, fighting his way back here to a full count.
Call strike 3. Cedeno hits the outside corner. Cano doesn't believe it, but he's gone. And the Yankees go in order here in the 3rd inning. Could Mo be coming into the ball game? We'll have to come back and find out. Yankees lead 5-1. Top of the 5th inning on an Audi scoreboard. Yankees leading by a score of 5-1. New pitcher into the ball game. You know who it is. Number 42, Mariano Rivera. And we're also going to bring in the Yankees manager, Joe Girardi, is kind enough to join us once again here in the top of the 5th inning. And Joe, let's start off with your starting pitcher today as you bring in Mo in the 5th.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not what we usually want to do, but we're trying to speed the game up, you know, 5-inning game. This is the last thing, but I thought Kuroda was very good today. I thought he had great command of his fastball. I thought his split was excellent, threw a few curveballs, and you know, he's a guy that we know is going to move the ball around, and I thought he did a really good job of that today.
Was it a natural progression? You thought that was his best outing of the spring?
I did. And, you know, early on in the spring, they're not going to have every pitch every day that they go out there. I mean, you understand that. So, I mean, they're working on things, and they're trying to get themselves ready to go. But I thought it was his best outing.
You know, Joe, talk about Cervelli working with Kuroda, because obviously Russell Martin has a history with him in L.A. It looked like they were on the same page all afternoon.
Yeah, you know, it's the second time that Cervi has caught him, and I thought it was a good idea to do that just because, you know, Russell knows him, so I don't have to worry about that. And sometimes, you know, Flash, where you can catch a guy a couple times in a row, it really helps out because you can build off the last start, and I thought they worked very well together today.
So I think you've mentioned in the past, Joe, that Mariano needs about 7 or 8 innings to get ready.
Did that hit him or hit the bat?
The umpire says it hit him, so Chris Snyder's going to head on down to first base.
I know it got Cervi, too.
So we're going to take another look at it, Joe. It's, yep, looked like it hit him just below the right elbow. So the leadoff man gets on to bring up the first baseman, Brett Wallace. For Mariano, that could be considered a wild pitch.
Yeah, well, to me it looked like he had thrown him a cutter and then he threw him a sinker in and he clipped him a little bit. But that's what Mo's going to do to right-handed hitters.
And that pitch is ripped foul. We've got a note up here on Mariano. He is not allowed an earned run in his last 23 innings of spring training going back to 2008.
Yeah, I knew we had to go back a few years.
Yeah. That's how you make a ball club, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's something he probably hasn't worried about in a long, long time.
Here's strike 2. Were you happy with Nunez today in his first day back?
You know, I was. You know, we only played him 4 innings. He hasn't played, I think, since we were in Philly the first weekend. So we thought we'd just get him in a few at bats. He said his wrist felt very good. He's going to play again tomorrow if he wakes up and feels fine tomorrow. And we'll get him back in the mix. So I want to get him playing because I think he's going to play an important role for us.
Call, strike 3. Wallace caught looking. Backdoor cutter.
Yeah, Flash and I had the opportunity to do that a lot to hitters, and it's enjoyable when a pitcher can throw the ball where you want it.
You know, talk about Mariano a little bit, Joe, because, you know, he pays attention to swings that are taken against him and really knows when to go in or out or up or down.
I mean, to me, that's really important, that you can read swings and what a guy's trying to do on you. And, you know, for a right-hander, if you see him, you know, trying to go out and get the cutter away, I mean, that's when he throws the sinker in, and sometimes he's going to hit some people. And vice versa, if you see a guy, left-hander, opening up, starting to cheat to try to get to that cutter, it just leaves that cutter over the outside plate to him wide open because they're going to give up on it and they're going to think it's a ball.
He's not missing the glove. There's a pitch foul at the plate.
Well, that's how you close 600 ball games. You don't miss the mitt. Mo's theory on pitching is pretty simple, and he's very athletic, and he hits the mitt more times than not.
You know, Joe, usually we go to the injury update when we talk to you during these spring training games, and today is no exception. How are some of the guys who are nicked up doing?
You know, I really believe Swish could play today. I really believe Russell Martin could play today. Jeet, you know, I think he's okay too. But if I can build in these extra days for them, I'm going to, because it's just too early in spring training to not do that.
Well, you bring in Mariano, you're only on for a little bit today, Joe. We're going to have to stretch you out in the future.
Are we on TV tomorrow?
No.
All right, so that's why he's not pitching.
Yeah. Thanks,
See
Joe.
you guys. Happy Patty's Day.
You know, same to you, Joe. The Yankees leading at the end of 4.5 innings by a score of 5-1.
On Tuesday night, the Yankees gear up for opening day when they host the Pirates here at Steinbrenner Field. Coverage on Yes starts at 7 o'clock as Lou Piniella joins Ken Singleton and myself for all the action. Pirates, Yankees, it all starts Tuesday at 7. Only on Yes. Lou Piniella in the house.
Yeah, we're going to pull up another chair, but we'll have fun. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Yankees. That's Tuesday, you said?
Tuesday night.
Yeah, night game. It's our first night game. Brett Myers, the new pitcher for the Astros, former Philadelphia Philly, deals to Alex Rodriguez, swings, hits one high in the air to right center field. Bourgeois over towards the gap in right center. One pitch and one out. On our Audi scoreboard, 5-1, the Yankees leading.
So those numbers for Myers last year as a starting pitcher. Now he's going to move into the bullpen and be the closer for the Houston Astros this year.
The Astros traded their closer, Mark Melanson, to the Boston Red Sox. And the Astros got Jed Lowry to play shortstop for them. Here's Raul Ibanez, who's drawn a walk and flied to left. He's 0 for 1. Myers, I believe, had some closing experience before. He's done both. Worked as a starter and a closer. Ibanez takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
Kenny Mariano Rivera looked like he's pretty much ready to go. 8 pitches, 7 strikes.
8 pitches, 7 strikes. The only non-strike was the one that clipped Chris Snyder.
Now extends that earned run, drought? 24 innings in spring training now?
It's been 4 years since he's given up a run in spring training.
He's got a chance to make the club.
Yeah. In the dirt. 2-2 on Ibanez. Popped up towards short. Marwin Gonzalez makes the catch, and there are 2 down. So the hitting woes continue at this point for Raul Ibanez.
Well, spring training, one of the toughest parts is the sun and the high sky. Glove does a nice job of Gonzalez does blocking the sun, making the play.
Sunglasses would help, I think, but he doesn't have any. Here's Andrew Jones. Hit a couple of rockets, 2 singles. He was thinking more than a single on that swing, and he misses strike 1. Just off the corner, the count evens up in a ball and a strike. 2 outs, nobody on for the Yankees in the 5th inning. The Yankees scored 2 runs in the first, 3 more in the second. Robinson Cano's first home run of the spring, a 3-run shot. Swing and a miss by Jones. And it's 1-2.
Looks like a couple of sliders he's thrown to Jones. Myers, always remember him with that big curve ball. That's what he got Ibanez to pop up. The velocity pretty decent, Kenny. 92 on the fastball.
Good slider, strikes out Andrew Jones. So Brett Myers comes out of the bullpen. A 1-2-3 inning. We've played 5 innings of baseball here at Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees lead it.
Hey Yankee fans, individual game tickets for the 2012 season at Yankee Stadium go on sale as part of a pre-on sale exclusively for MasterCard holders starting Thursday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. and continuing through Sunday, March 25th at 10 p.m. To use your MasterCard to purchase tickets beginning March 22nd, visit yankees.com/priceless or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
New pitcher for the Yankees, Corey Wade, comes in here in the top of the sixth. And his first pitch to Jason Bourgeois, the center fielder, is a little outside. Chris Dickerson's now in right field. And Jose Gil now doing the catching. And last inning, Jason Nix took over at shortstop. Ball is popped up to the right side. Let's see if there's a play. Cano over near the line, over near the stands, and this one's about 10 rows back. Corey Wade did a good job for the Yankees out of the pen last year. He was busy. 40 games. 6-1 record. Good ERA. Good strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, that 8 walks, that's what you like about a reliever coming in out of the pen, throwing strikes. Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, pitching coach. You know what you're going to get from Corey Wade.
There's a strike. You know, one of the stats for a reliever is a first batter face stat. How often do you get that first man out? Ooh, tried to jump down on a breaking ball and had it slash back through the middle. Slider kind of hung up.
Oh, nice approach right here. A little breaking ball stays up in the zone. Corey Wade fortunate to get out of the way. Not his best strikeout pitch.
So the leadoff man is on for the Astros. Their 4th hit of the afternoon. And here's Matt Downs, who was struck out and fouled out. Curveball, swings at it, lifts it in the air. Drifting back is Nix, coming on is Gardner, and it's going to be Gardner who makes the catch. Another sliding catch for the Yankee left fielder. I thought he took a false step on this one, went back, and then had to really come on.
Well, you worry about here the communication. You see Brett Gardner calling it. He goes down for the slide, a little snow cone in the glove. Nix trying to call it, but Brett Gardner calls him off and makes the play.
The range factor. Covers a lot of ground out there in left field. J.D. Martinez fouls a pitch to the plate for a strike. Martinez is grounded out and doubled, scored a run. Runner goes. The pitch is outside for a ball. The throw to second is in time. Gil throws out Bourgeois. And that is out number 2. That was not an easy pitch to throw on. And he still got it.
Well, you give Gil a lot of credit, but Corey Wade does a nice job. A little slide step, quick to home plate. And the throw from Gil right on the money. A good tag from Robinson Cano. And you're right, Kenny. Down and away. He doesn't take a little jab step. He just rocks on his back leg and fires a perfect strike to second base.
There's a pitch for a strike to Martinez. Now the count is 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on now. That was impressive.
You know, a situation there where a catcher will give a guy like Corey Wade some credit. He was really quick to home plate. Gave Gil a chance.
Tried to drop down on Martinez, who fouls it back. David Cone used to do that. Get 2 strikes on a right-handed hitter and all of a sudden drop that arm angle. Give the hitter something else to look at. Let's see if he doubles up. Nope. Ball is lined right at Alex Rodriguez, and that's going to be it. The Astros get a hit. Nothing else here in the 6th inning. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Eric Chavez is going to lead it off. This is headed for A-Rod's glove. Scoreboard tells you the Yankees are leading 5-1. Eric Chavez is going to lead it off against Brett Myers, who's still in the game. And that pitch is outside. It's a ball and a strike. Ball is hit hard, knocked down by Wallace at first, and the throw to Myers covering, and that's out number 1. Ball hit by a rocket. Well, fans, later tonight, you basketball fans, the Nets tip off a 3-game homestand in Newark with a matchup against the Hornets. Coverage on Yes starts at 7:30 with the Nets pregame. Then Ryan Rucco and Mike Fratello have all the action. Hornets Nets. It all starts tonight at 7:30 only on Yes. Darren Williams will be back in the Nets lineup. He missed the last 4 games with a calf injury. And the first game for Gerald Wallace since coming over from the Portland Trailblazers. They got him in a deal. Jason Nix has a base hit. So the Nets have themselves a new small forward. Not actually small. I bet she's about 6'6". 6'6", 6'7". So Nix is on with a base hit with 1 out. It's just NBA terminology for a position. Jose Gil's first at bat since taking over for Francisco Cervelli. Gil made his defensive presence known by throwing out Bourgeois. Gil can also play first base. We've seen him there. Let's play a little third as well. Here's a pitch and a curve drops in for a strike.
Well, Brad Mills, manager of the Astros, must be looking towards Myers to be one of those closers who can throw multiple innings. Out here for a second inning of work.
Knocked down by the catcher, and the throw to second is not in time. Nix is going to be saved.
Well, Nix taking advantage of an opportunity here today. A base hit and then a really nice base running play. Ball in the dirt that Snyder does a good job of trapping, but Nix just takes off, and it's tough for a catcher to reset his feet and make an accurate throw. You see, he reads the ball in the dirt, nice secondary lead, and takes off. Good aggressive base running.
One thing you're taught as a runner at first base, you watch the trajectory of the pitch as it comes to home plate, and it might tell you it's going to be in the dirt. Then you might lean a little bit towards second and give yourself that split instance where you can really get a good jump towards the next base. And it looks as though Nix was able to do that. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Gil.
You know, Kenny, you wish you could get every base runner to feel what it's like to be behind home plate when you block a ball and then you have to regroup, get a good grip, and deliver an accurate throw to second base. It is such a tough thing to do. A lot of base runners could take advantage of it.
Hit hard on the ground to second for Matt Downs, who will throw out Gil, and on the play, Nix moves over to third. Now back to the top of the order for the Yankees and Brett Gardner. Gardner's got a no contact afternoon going. He's walked twice and struck out. But the 2 walks turned into 2 runs. Curveball in the dirt, knocked down by Chris Snyder. He's also picked up a stolen base. One ball and 1 strike. That appears to be Dwayne Wise in the on-deck circle. Curtis Granderson is done for the afternoon. Had himself a 1-for-2 day with 2 runs scored and a run batted in. Curveball hangs a little high to Gardner, and he's ahead on the count. 2 balls and a strike. Bouncing ball towards short for Gonzalez. He has it over to Wallace, and Gardner's thrown out by a step. Yankees leave a runner at third. It's on to the 7th inning. We move along to the top of the 7th inning. The Yankees have made several defensive changes. We'll catch you up with them in just a moment. But Jack Gus is going to lead it off against Corey Waiters into his 2nd inning of work. The Yankees employed a defensive shift on our Ford scoreboard. The Yankees lead 5-1. And Gus swinging at the first pitch, tops it foul down the first base line. Strike 1. Here's the new defense for the Yankees. Several changes, as we've mentioned. Gardner is replaced by Gardner. Wise in center, Dickerson in right. Hall's now at third. Nix has been in the ball game. Bernier takes over at second for Cano. Jorge Vasquez at first for Eric Chavez. Tufts takes the ball outside, and it's 1-1. Get to the point where clubs are starting to make some changes, so the veterans have to go a little further in the ball games as they get more and more into game shape. That pitch is high for a ball.
Kenny, when I see Jack Cust, I can't get out of my head the base running play that he had in 03 to end the ball game. It was one of the strangest ends to a ball game I've ever witnessed.
High fly ball to left center field. Dwayne Wise drifting over towards the gap. He's there and hauls it in for out number 1. I do remember that play. It happened in Baltimore at Camden Yards. Is this the play you're talking about, Flash?
This is it.
That's Jeff Nelson, who gives up what he thinks is a game-tying hit. That's Cust. He's rounding third. The relay. Now he falls down once. Now they have him in the rundown. The ball is bobbled. Nobody's in home plate. Nobody's covering home. He falls down, and it's tagged out for the final out of the game. He was carrying the tying run. The Yankees had a misplay on the rundown play. Nobody was left to cover home plate. All he had to do was stay on his feet and make it home and tie the ball game.
One of the strangest endings to a play. I was actually in the dugout at that point in the game. And you're thinking you're going to extra innings, tie ball game, and the next thing you know, Jack goes down.
2, 3, 4. It's over.
Well, how about this? You know, Sweeney Murdy, one of our friends here around the ballpark, he sent me a text that he researched that game. I actually hit 2 home runs in that game.
You know what, Flash? I remember that too.
And as you saw Jorge Posada catching, Joe Torre pinch hit for me after hitting 2 home runs in a game.
Like the Rodney Dangerfield. No respect.
No respect. Jorge Posada struck out with the bases loaded and went back behind the plate.
2 home. I remember that, Flash.
I remember thinking to myself, you know, he's probably a smart man. There's no way I'm getting another hit in this game. Already had 2 home runs, and there's Posada executing the rundown. And you're taught, to his defense, you're taught to continue all the way to third base.
But there was nobody behind him.
Home.
And Cust on his way with the top.
The reaction is priceless.
Ball is down the line and out of play. Gardner could not get to it. Yeah, that was one of the strangest endings to a ball game that I've ever seen. Fell down not once, but twice. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 7th inning. By the way, Brad Snyder's at the plate. Corey Wade trying to have a 1-2-3 inning. Look out, up and in. Straightens up Snyder.
Trying to sneak a little fastball inside. Get Snyder's attention.
Off the end of the bat, this is going to be a tough play. If it's fair, it's going to roll foul. Bill Hall gloves it. Foul territory. So, Flash, I understand you hit a solo home run in the 5th inning and then came back with another one in the 7th.
You know what I remember about that night? My younger brother Keith used to pick a weekend every year, and a bunch of his buddies, 10 or 15, would go to a game, a weekend series. That game, he was there with all his buddies sitting in right center field.
That's not where you hit it.
No, I hit him the left. But it was a pretty good feeling seeing him out in right center.
Snyder hit by a pitch. Now, also, we've been told by Frank DeGrace, our producer, that, do you remember this, Flash, that the Orioles batted out of order in the 1st inning and scored a run, and Joe Torre didn't catch it, and he thanked you guys for winning the game.
Well, how about the starting catcher didn't catch it either? I should have known that too.
Time for the 7th inning stretch here in Florida. Yankees leading 5-1.
The story of the afternoon, Kuroda had a very impressive stint. 4 innings, gave up 1 run. The split finger fastball was in effect all afternoon, doing a nice job fielding his position as well. And just enough of a fastball when he needed it to get some outs. This will be the final out of his afternoon. Nice sliding catch by Brett Gardner. A nice afternoon for Kuroda.
Kuroda very sharp. Game summary, of course, is presented by Lincoln. Yankees leading 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kuroda 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, couple of strikeouts. Cano, a booming 3-run homer. Mariano Rivera, in that 1 inning, he threw 8 pitches, 7 of them were strikes. He still hasn't given up a run since 2008 in spring training. New pitcher is Ryder Cruz, and he'll be facing Dwayne Wise, who took over for Granderson. On the Ford scoreboard in the bottom of the 7th, the Yankees leading 5-1. Wise takes a pitch for a called strike, and he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the new pitcher, Binghamton, Double-A. 3-2 in 36 ball games. Swing and a miss, and 3 pitches. Dwayne Wise is out of it.
Well, Cruz, one of those pitchers, was selected in the Rule 5 Major League Draft on December 8, 2011. So a chance to make this ball club as he was picked up from the Mets organization. Off to a good start here in the 7th inning.
Here is Cole Garner. Played at altitude last year at Colorado Springs. And the reason why I say that, because sometimes at Pacific Coast League, it's difficult to get a gauge on how well the hitters are doing, because they're hitting at altitude. You get a lot of home runs.
Yep.
Swing and a miss.
Good fastball from Cruz. I probably should explain the Rule 5 draft. You know, Houston picks up Cruz. You give him a look in spring training. The Astros have to keep him on their Major League roster all year, or the Mets can get him back.
I think the going price is $50,000, and then if you give the player back, you only get half of it back. So it's sort of like a look-see. But if you keep him, the money's gone, and you got yourself a player. But you got to keep him in the big leagues all year long. Pitch is fouled off. The organizations, every once in a while, they take chances on it. Sometimes position players, but mostly pitchers. Fouled back.
Sometimes it's easier to hide a pitcher in the bullpen. You know, a young kid who might not be ready for the major leagues, but you can hide him a little bit, put him in some situations during the year where the game's not on the line.
One way or the other, way ahead or way behind.
And to be honest, you know, Houston is a place now where there'll be a lot of opportunities for some young players to play at the major league level.
Bouncing ball towards first baseman Matt Downs, who's moved over from second, and the play is just in time. Looked like Cruz was cruising over the first, and Gardner almost beat him to the bag. Good hustle by the Yankee left fielder.
We'll check him out getting out of the box. Cruz, a little hesitation there. Play develops slowly, and Gardner makes it a bang-bang play, doesn't get the call.
Good hustle down the line. There's 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the 7th. Every manager likes his players to hustle. Here's Bill Hall, his first at bat of the afternoon. A-Rod, while he was in there, went 0 for 3. The Yankees scored early and often in this game. Twice in the first, 3 more in the second. And they lead 5-1 here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Veteran Bill Hall takes outside for a ball, 2-0. Pop, foul, back, and out of play. Bill Hall, born in Tupelo, Mississippi. Drafted by the Brewers, 6th round. You go back to 1998. 10 seasons in the major leagues. Milwaukee, the Giants, Boston, Seattle, and Houston. Veteran player. Hits this one well to left field. Back towards the wall, and this one is gone. A home run for Bill Hall. And the Yankees add one more. They lead 6-1. A line drive home run off the bat of Bill Hall.
Well, Bill Hall trying to make this ball club as a utility infielder. That swing of the bat will get a manager's attention. Oh, you like the sound off the bat. A strong setup right there. You can see that top hand really finish the swing and drives a line drive out of here.
Still echoing. Here's Colin Curtis, who takes over for Raul Ibanez in a DH spot.
Get a manager's attention.
That was Cruz's worst pitch of the inning, and he didn't get it back. Sometimes pitchers get lucky and hitters will foul out of off. Not Bill Hall. He got it all. Now tipped off the glove of Snyder. What's Snyder? No, I think that's Landon Powell now doing the catching. Former Oakland A. That's Powell in there for Chris Snyder. Curtis fouls another pitch off. Like Powell just recently joined the Houston Astros. Curtis draws a walk. So the inning continues. Cruz got the first two Yankees here in the 7th. Now has run into trouble with a home run and a base on balls to bring up Chris Dickerson for his first AB of the afternoon. While Andrew Jones was in there, he had a solid afternoon. 2 for 3, a couple line drive singles. Swing and a miss. Strike one to Dickerson. Dickerson last year was used by the Yankees more or less in a defensive posture late in ball games when the Yankees had the lead. He would go into right field for Nick Swisher. But this year, Joe Girardi says Swisher's running better. He's in tremendous shape. Curtis is on the move. Powell's thrown to second. It's in time. He's done. So are the Yankees here in the 7th. But they pick up a run. They pick up a run on one swing of the bat. And it's by Bill Hall. That's Hall, y'all. It's 6-1 Yankees. Stick around for the Yes Network special event, 10 years of Yes. It's a story of the magic moments and remarkable people that made up our dramatic first decade, including memories from the athletes, the fans, and the personalities who witnessed history. 10 years of Yes. That's today after the game, only on Yes. 10 years. Boone Logan, the lefty, out of the pen for the Yankees. 64 times he came out of the bullpen last year. Did an amazing job. Astros up here in the 8th inning. Joe Thurston swings at the first pitch and lifts it foul and out of play. Thurston came on to play second base. We've told you that Downs moved over to first. Those are AAA numbers for Thurston with New Orleans. Or New Orleans. So Logan gets to face a left-handed batter. That's usually what happens with him when he comes out of the pen. And this curveball hangs high for a ball.
You get a good gauge where Boone Logan's game is right now against a left-handed batter. That first slider was not his best.
Fastball a little bit high. Yankee pitching's been very strong this afternoon, starting with Hiroki Kuroda, who gave up 1 run in 4 innings. Mariano Rivera gave up nothing in 1. Corey Wade worked 2 innings, didn't give up any runs. Now Boone Logan's in here. Foul ball on a check swing. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Joe Thurston. High chopper towards second for Doug Bernier, who gloves it and throws on to first, and there's 1 out. We mentioned a little bit earlier that this is the 50th anniversary for the Houston Astros. When they first came into being, they were known as the Houston Colt 45s. And then with the start of the space program, they became the Astros and eventually moved into the Astrodome. But now called Minute Maid Park. Their stadium. It's a brand new stadium. Astrodome is still there, but this ball's hit in the air foul. But Minute Maid Park is a beauty. We were there for Interleague a couple of years ago.
I've never been there, but I guess that's going to change next year, right? With Houston going to the American League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get your shot. The Yankees actually helped open Minute Maid Park in spring training as swing and a miss by Gonzalez. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on the shortstop.
Well, the Yankees will do the same thing this spring, right, with the ballpark in Miami?
Yeah, they will. That's ball hit in the air to left field. It's going to chase the left fielder Gardner back. Still going back. This ball's over his head and up against the wall. As Marwin Gonzalez has himself a double, Gardner had some problems picking the ball up in left field. No harm, no foul. So the Astros have a runner in scoring position.
Take a look at the fastball middle in. A pretty good swing by Gonzalez, and you wonder if he maybe could have gotten himself to third base. Garner has a little trouble up against the wall. Kenny actually saw the first base coach go out to Gonzalez to I guess get his hitting guard there. That's Tony DeFrancesco. Now most people, he's the manager at AAA
for the Oklahoma City Red Hawks. But Tony grew up in Suffern, which is in Rockland County, New York, and was a catcher who went to Seton Hall University and was drafted by the Boston Red Sox. Had a nice minor league career. But I only bring that up because I grew up in Rockland County. Yeah. And Tony was a few years older than me, and it was one of those guys that you looked up to and said, you know what, might be able to have a business in this game. And Tony having a nice career as a manager in the minor leagues. He was a little bit earlier than that Mo Vaughn, John Valentin. You know, he might have been around the Craig Biggio days. Okay. But Tony actually played at Suffern High School with Walt Weiss, who we all know went on to a very nice major league career.
Walt Weiss, #1 draft pick of the year.
Yep.
Pinch runner at second is Angel Sanchez, who comes on to run for Marwin Gonzalez. So Gonzalez with the double now out of the ball game. There's Sanchez at second. J.B. Shuck is the hitter. He took over in center field for Bourgeois. So Boone Logan gets to face another left-handed hitter here. And this ball is hit towards the gap in right center. On the move is Dwayne Wise. He's not going to get it. This ball is going to roll all the way to the wall in center field. Shuck is the second. He's headed for third, and he's in with a stand-up triple. And it's now a 6-2 ball game as the Astros pick up a run here in the top of the 8th inning. J.B. Shuck.
Larry Rothschild, pitching coach, looking on at Boone Logan. Tries to throw a fastball away, and it ends up middle in. So fastball location an issue this afternoon for Boone. Shuck drills this ball to right center field, going to end up at third base with a triple.
So with one out, the Astros have a runner at third. It's going to bring up Matt Downs, who's now playing at first base. He started the game at second. And a slider drops in there for a called strike. Working on an 0-for-3 afternoon. Off the end of the bat, and Boone Logan way ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So Rockland County, a hotbed for ball players, right?
It never used to be, but you know, it was like guys like Tony and Walt Weiss who it made you believe a little bit that I might be able to do something. You know, might be able to get out of Rockland County and have a career.
Go see the world.
You know, it's a big day in Rockland County tomorrow too, Kenny. I don't know if you know this.
You know what? You were mentioning this before the game. What is it?
St. Patrick's Day Parade in Pearl River, the town of friendly people.
That's where you're from, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we have a big afternoon tomorrow. Wow.
That was a cut from the truck. Wanted to know, why do you live there if it's a town of friendly people?
Well, you got to have one outcast, I guess. But a big parade tomorrow in Pearl River, and I guess the weather sounds like it's going to be pretty nice, so it'll be a good day.
That's not true, fans. Ground ball towards the hole, and knocking it down, but can't handle it is Bill Hall. It's going to be a hit for Downs and RBI, and it's now a 6-3 game. As Shuck scores from third base. That would have been a tough play.
Downs does a good job behind in the count, putting the ball in play with a runner at third. Hall going to his left, can't come up with a clean, and they're actually going to give it an error.
Yeah, as I look at it, it's an error as I get to replay. E5. J.D. Martinez still in there. He's a youngster. And he hits one. It's going to drop in for a hit. Downs around second. He's headed for third. The throw is wide. He'll score, and that allows Martinez to scoot into second. That was kind of a misplay by Dwayne Wise, if you ask me. Throw the ball to second base, keep the double play in order with one out. Instead, the Astros now have another runner in scoring position.
And also, you play to the scoreboard a little bit, Kenny. 6-3. You're up by 3. Wise should be dropping this ball at second base to keep the runner there. He decides to go to third. Martinez cruises into second base, taking advantage.
We're going to have a pinch hitter for the Astros. Jimmy Paredes is going to hit for Jack Cuss. So the left-handed hitter leaves, the right-handed hitter takes his place against Boone Logan. Runners at second and third and one out. First pitch is outside for ball one.
Paredes, an ex-Yankee minor leaguer, was actually part of the Lance Berkman trade. That's how he ended up over here in Houston. Nice opportunity with this at bat right here. Second and third, only one out. Infield playing back.
Yeah, he's got a chance to have one of those remember me at bats. Not with a swing like that one.
Well, he's hunting a fastball. And he gets a slider.
I wanted to hear you describe this.
And boy, that's a tough swing to break down right there.
Like a Charles Barkley golf swing.
A couple of good sliders back to back from Boone Logan. This inning has not been his best work. He's struggling a little bit with fastball location. The slider kind of rolling. The last two have been much better.
Like 4 parts of that swing. A ball and 2 strikes. Cussed while he was in there was 0 for 3. Oh, we've all had bad hacks up there.
I actually struck out in a spring training game against the Tigers, and the ball hit me in my back shoulder.
You swung at the pitch.
I took a full swing, missed, and hit me in my right shoulder. That's tough to do. So I'm not laughing at this kid with that swing.
He didn't swing at that one. Maybe he should have. Call strike 3. 2 down now with runners at second and third. First strikeout for Boone Logan.
I mentioned a couple of good sliders earlier in the at bat, and he dots a fastball right on the outside corner. Looks like Boone's starting to figure it out a little bit here.
Scott Moore's a hitter. Third baseman. Tell you what, Chris Johnson was in there. He was the best hitter of the day for the Astros. Hit a couple of booming doubles and a strikeout, 2 for 3. Gives way to Scott Moore. Astros with a couple men on and 2 outs in a 6-3 game. We're in the 8th. There's that sharp slider. It's in for a strike, 1-1. You got anything special planned for? Well, you got a flight.
That's it.
Yeah. Just make sure it's uneventful, I guess. Ball is popped up. That's Jason Nix. He handles it. And the Astros are done here in the 8th inning. They score a couple. Bottom of the 8th inning coming. The Yankees lead by 3. Each team with 7 hits, but the Yankees have 6 runs and lead 6-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees starters upcoming schedule. Tomorrow, the Yankees travel to Sarasota. They'll take on the Orioles, and Ivan Nova gets to start Tuesday. That game will be on Yes. Michael Pineda. It's a Tuesday night game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. On Wednesday, Phil Hughes go down to Port Charlotte. They'll take on the Rays. David Phelps against the Red Sox. CC Sabathia is going to pitch in the minors that day. Yankees don't want to show off CC to the Red Sox. And Friday, Kuroda, as the Yankees have a split squad, he'll pitch here at home. Nova on the road. Twins and the Phillies are the opposition. Here's the new pitcher for the Phillies in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's going to be Fernando Rodriguez. And that's what he did last year. 47 games out of the bullpen, 57 strikeouts and 52 in the 3rd innings. And the first pitch to Chris Dickerson is low for a ball. We have a new left fielder. It's going to be Travis Buck. Angel Sanchez stays in the game at shortstop. He came on as a pinch runner for Marwin Gonzalez. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 on Dickerson.
Yeah, looking forward to Tuesday night, Kenny. That game will be on Yes. We get to see Pineda against the Pirates. I haven't seen him live and up close. Looking forward to that.
And on Thursday, we're going down to it's Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, we're going to go down to the new ballpark of Red Sox, JetBlue Park down in Fort Myers. See, it's a mini Fenway Park. And we'll check that out for the first time, and that game will be on Yes as well. 2 balls and a strike on Dickerson. Call strike 2. Rodriguez has that outside corner locked in.
Have you seen Pineda throw yet?
Not in a game. Maybe a highlight or 2. I heard he's really worked on that changeup. It's really coming along. Full count now on Chris Dickerson. Dickerson was at the plate when Colin Curtis was tossed out stealing to end the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 down. Fans, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Jorge Vasquez to the plate. 32 home runs, 93 runs batted in last year at Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Is that 118 games? That's doing some breaking right there.
93 runs batted in 118 games. Somebody ahead of him scored a lot of runs. Swing and a miss. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Remember back to last spring, he had a home run off the batter's eye in center field. Remember, that got everybody's attention. Plenty of power. And a big year at AAA.
A high fly ball down the right field side, and it's a souvenir. Just had a birthday the other day, born in Culiacan, Mexico. 10 seasons in the Mexican League, signed by the Yankees in December 2008. Caribbean Series MVP 2011, AAA All-Star 2011. Nickname El Chato, the chunky one.
One of my favorite nicknames of all time right there. El Chato. The chunky one who can really hit, from what I've seen.
Bouncing ball towards short. On the backhand, Angel Sanchez. He's tested, and the throw is accurate. That's out number 2. You think of nicknames for ball players over there. Ball players don't have the flashy nicknames they used to. There was an outfielder years ago who was a very good center fielder. I can't remember his name, but his nickname was Death to All Flying Things. Here's Jason Nix, who's had himself an at-bat and has had himself a hit. He's 1 for 1. And he takes a pitch low for ball 1. A lot of times ball players now have shortened versions of their names for their nickname, like A-Rod. Pitch is fouled on. Fernando Rodriguez trying to have a 1-2-3 inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Good curveball right there from Rodriguez.
Longtime broadcaster, the late Dave Niehaus, who was the one who first started calling Alex Rodriguez A-Rod when he was with the Mariners. Of course, Alex came up through the Mariners system. #1 draft pick overall. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Efrod has himself a good inning. Couple of strikeouts, 1, 2, 3 here in the 8th. Last chance for the Astros coming up. Dellin Betances comes out of the bullpen for the Yankees. That's what he did last year in the minor leagues. You can see more than a strikeout per inning. Maybe needs to work on the control a little bit with the 70 walks, but opponents had trouble getting making contact and getting some hits. They only hit 217 against him. And he's trying to finish it off here against the Houston Astros. Top of the 9th inning with the Yankees leading by a score of 6-3. And Betances has had himself a good spring. That's a stash. Out of the Yosemite Sam mode. Pretty good spring thus far. Only 3 hits in 4 innings, no runs, a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts for Betances. 6'8". Looks like when you face him, he's handing the ball to the catcher.
You mentioned the control problems last year, Kenny, and that's what the Yankees want to see improvement on, and they've been pleasantly surprised in spring training. Larry Rothschild doing some work with these young pitchers down here in camp.
Justin Ruggiano, the right fielder, is going to lead it off for the Houston Astros. The former Ray will be the first batter to face Betances. Here's the pop of the glove, and the fastball's over the corner in an instant for a strike. 46 games with the Rays last year, up and down from the minor leagues. Curveball in for a strike. 0-2.
Well, so far so good. Fastball strike one, a big curveball for strike two.
Moves him off the plate. An imposing figure on the mound. That one just missed the corner. It's 2-2. Betances at 6'8". You got CC Sabathia at 6'7". Michael Pineda at 6'7". They could help out the Nets. Off the end of the bat, grounded towards third. Bill Hall cuts in front of the shortstop. Nix throws on the first. One batter up, one batter down here tonight.
6 feet 8 inches tall. I mean, obviously it's tough to keep together mechanically. Betances pretty good job in that at bat right there. A couple of fastballs, 3 curveballs, all around the strike zone.
Here's the catcher, Landon Powell. First pitch strikes. Key for any pitcher. Oh, 0-2. Yankees actually have an off day on Monday. Their only off day of the spring. And I'm sure players who need treatment, they'll be coming to Steinbrenner Field to receive medical treatment. Get them ready for Tuesday. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Well, you can see the stuff, the power fastball and the big curveball for strike 3. If he can just get his mechanics where he's throwing the ball consistently around the plate, you're going to see a lot of swings just like that. You have to respect the fastball. Good deception, being 6'8", good angle down the mound. Good result.
Here's Joe Thurston, and he swings at the first pitch, and it's a foul ball. Astros down to their last out here at the top of the 9th inning. The Yankees with a 6-3 lead. Betances is trying to have a 1-2-3 ninth and then moving along to Sunday's game. Low and inside, and it got a piece of the umpire, Mark Carlson. That's not what he wanted with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
It looked like the first changeup from Betances. Already seen the fastball curve, and he kind of yanked the changeup just a little bit. Still a work in progress with that pitch.
Swing and a miss. It came right back with it. So Houston down to their last strike. And the rhythmic clapping begins for the Yankee fans, anticipating the end of the game. Nope, not here. 2-2. Bouncing ball over the mound. Going to be a tough play for Nix. He charges, throws, and the throw pulls Vasquez off the bag. It's going to be an infield single for Joe Thurston.
Well, Betances does everything right, getting a little jam shot up the middle. Thurston runs well. A nice play by Nix coming to get the ball cleanly, just to throw up the line a little bit.
That would have been a bang play at first, even if the throw was on line. There's Angel Sanchez, going to get an at bat. And the curveball hangs inside for ball 1. a strike. The Flash, I'm sure you'll be happy to see the family tonight when you walk in the door.
Maybe have some corned beef and cabbage left for me.
I'm sure they'll have everything just perfect. Runners on the move. Defensive indifferences. Thurston will head down to second. He wasn't being held on by the Yankees. The pitch was a ball to Angel Sanchez. Line drive center field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. And they're going to hold the runner. The throw almost got away from Gill, the catcher. But this means the Astros are going to bring the tying run to the plate. Sanchez made the most of his only at bat with a solid single to center field.
You see Thurston coming around third. He's being held up. Throw off line a little bit.
Well, J.B. Shuck will get a second chance. He's had one at bat and he tripled and scored last inning. He represents the tying run at the plate. So after Betances got the first two hitters, infield single, and now another base hit. He starts him with a curveball and it's in for a strike. Runners on the corners. Another curveball in there for a strike. It's 0-2.
Well, you got him right where you want him. If you're Betances now, just execute the same pitch. 0-2. You don't have to make it any better.
Bouncing ball, foul.
Sometimes you see these young pitchers, they get ahead in the count and they want to make that 0-2 pitch so perfect and so nasty, you end up making a mistake. Keep your same mechanics, your same rhythm, and execute the pitch.
Those fans want to go home. High fastball, 1-2. Little chopper towards first. Vasquez has it. No! It's Betances who makes the play, and that's the ball game. He stepped right in front of the first baseman and took it on his own to make the play. A little bit of contact there around the bag, but it all works out as the Astros have kept off the scoreboard here in the top of the ninth inning.
Well, another good curveball down in the zone. This looks a little scary as you see Betances come right in front of El Chato. Finishes off the play. Obviously a top prospect who looked like that knee maybe hyperextend a little bit, but it looks like he's okay.
So the Yankees win this one by a score of 6-3. We'll be back to wrap this one up from Steinbrenner Field.